I like. What's wrong with you? I'm vibing and you turn it off. I'm gonna do that when you're eating and you're so hungry and you're about to take your big bite. I'm gonna take the plate away from you, but yeah. Bitch.
Ice cream's in the back, right?
Ice cream inside my ass cheeks. Gross it would be.
You might like this one.
This one.
Accessibility.
One thing I don't want you having to me. Touch me again! Fuck off!
Inside the podcast. Our sponsors this week are Nord Stella and Bartender. More about those later. If you're not a subscriber to Apple Insider Plus, and we'll talk about how you can be.
We're not
later.
a subscriber. We're not
But in the meantime, there's so much more going on. We've got to talk about this. I'm joined as ever by Wesley. Here we are. So, Wes, a busy week, including actually starting
The love bus.
with your house.
You missed it.
Right?
Well, I just wanted to share that you might have seen this already. It's been on the website for a few days, but I wrote a piece on smart home with pets. I might have even mentioned it in the last episode, but it is published now. It features photos of my cats. It's fun, but I discuss litter robots and this granary feeder that's automatic that I have, and just different little implementations around the home that you can do, and some wish list items for
I want smart
Apple
home
Home,
stuff,
and the fact that they don't really account for any of that, but it's still doable with apps on your iPhone.
You realise that anybody who tuned into this has immediately stopped the moment you said cat and has gone off to find us. But you know, if they come back at any point, you mentioned a wish list there, and that reminds me, you have this idea, you mentioned it last week as well, about what App Insider Plus should be this week. What are you going for with this?
So we're going to do a couple weeks. So this week is going to be macOS, visionOS, and tvOS. And we're going to discuss what we're expecting for OS 27 at WWDC 2026. And that's not long, a couple weeks away as we record. June 8th is the day, so very excited.
I'll get a collar vest and everything.
It's ludicrous how excited I get about this. I mean, it's Apple finding new ways to sell us.
You don't need an outside cat when him and mommy go out.
I'm really into this, except I'm not half going to have to think about what I want next or what I think will happen, which might not be the same thing. I should explain that's App Insider Plus, which is the service you get. The extended edition. You get more of that, more of us, and fewer ads, but you get no ads at all. Join us on App Insider Plus either through Patreon or through Apple Podcast subscriptions. But now, back to this week, because I love this. There was the Google I.O. show, and completely accidentally, Apple issued invitations to how many W's in this, William? WWDC, and it also put out some of their accessibility features. This is the only time I know that Apple says about anything in advance, and it always does it ahead of an accessibility day. But really, really impressive stuff from it, which I think you wrote about more than I did. What are the highlights for you in this year's accessibility features?
So yes, Apple does this every year around Global Accessibility Awareness Day.
Apple has like some of the best accessibility shit,
that's
right?
today as we record.
Being able it's always to like still do the things you like to do on your computer and your phone, but not have like arms, but being able to like eye control all of it, implement it in the system, being able to like miss part of your fingers and have like certain ways to do stuff, being able just to be disabled in all these different ways.
I like
the fact that Apple openly for free, not charging $400+ an app.
They shouldn't charge.
A lot of companies do that. They charge you a lot of money. The fact that you can buy all these Apple devices and they work together for free in the great system, you can just have accessibility stuff work. Great.
That's kind of it.
I like to do all that shit.
It's always fun to see what they want to put in because it's sad but great. We get a preview of some of what might be coming in the fall, but it's accessibility stuff, and Apple, I guess, doesn't feel like there's enough space to discuss it in the main keynote.
And another great thing too about it is like the ability to just have like that eye tracking, that eye care stuff, like that Sam really hates, but I have on his phone, where it cares for you. So if you hold your phone too close, you don't get what I have, myopia, and what you have kind of is you're not too close to your screen all the time. Your eyes, when you're developing, they don't get fucked. So
I like that too. Yeah.
I don't know if you have that, but I know that I had that. I know, but I had that because when I was younger, when my eyes were developing, I was too close to my screens, and no one was there to tell me no. So I like that being able. Our kids gonna have all that shit on their phone. They're gonna have ear stuff.
They're not having a phone. No,
They can have a
my
very
kid's not
locked
having a
down phone.
I'm sorry, they're not having a phone. I pushed it out. It's not having a
If
phone.
they do, when
Go
they
ahead
do-
and adopt a kid somewhere else. But if I
when they
push
do-
that one out, it's not
okay,
having a
fine.
phone.
When they do get a phone, when they do eventually get a phone,
When?
they're gonna have
When they're 36 years
when they're an adult and they get a phone, we'll buy them a phone, but we're gonna keep all that shit on there and it's like it's for your safety. Like an Apple Watch, if I want maybe our kid to have a tracker on them, and then you're like, no, they don't get an Apple Watch, but there's a lot of benefits to kids having an Apple Watch. If the TV's too loud and your kid's sitting too close to it. Another thing too is I want to have old school TVs for our kid. I wanted to have an old black and white TV, where it has those old type of shows on them. It's not the new.
I know what you mean. It's called cable TV. No YouTube, nothing. That's what we got
not
from
cable. I want like us
where they
to
get like
choose the shows.
They get Netflix. Sorry, they get Nickelodeon Junior and shit, bro.
We have a
and like
TV
Cat in the Hat and yada
and
yada.
you click the button, and the kid's able to click the button and say, "I want to watch Cat in the Hat," and it only has Cat in the Hat, or it has all this stuff that we pick out for them. I don't want to over control them, but I want it to be curated so that they don't get, maybe black and white. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just for fun. They can have color too. I'm not gonna. Probably like one of those tube TVs. Square TVs.
Keynote, but they also promote it directly heavily here and kind of takes over the conversation. So good thing, bad thing, I'm not sure where it is on the spectrum, but I like that they do this. It's obviously also a play on the fact that there's this back and forth between Apple and Google. I think it's all in good fun, but Apple has always done WWDC in June, at least in the most recent period of time. Google started doing their developer conference in May, and then Apple started announcing their accessibility features around the same time as Google's developer conference. So it's like this little tit for tat. Who owns the news cycle?
Tesla, let's go.
And anyway,
Yes.
yeah, there's always going to be a lot of little back and forth there. But briefly, there's a few things this year. A lot of focus on Apple Intelligence and accessibility features.
We don't get any Apple
natural voice control. Some people, I've seen, they've complained actually. They're like, oh no, AI is coming to VoiceOver, the last good thing on iPhone. We'll have to see how this works. I'm hopeful. We'll see.
Like your
but
voiceover,
there's a new reader.
Hey
But
Siri,
I think the thing that
do this.
It doesn't do
Siri,
anything
do that.
now. Siri doesn't
There's
do
two
anything now. Haven't you noticed?
Yeah,
First
but the ability to have
There's no ability because I'm not using
the
it.
motor
You always
and the
yell to
motorized
Siri and say,
wheelchair.
Siri, do this, do
But it
this.
doesn't do anything.
Eye gestures.
Does so.
No,
on
because my
Apple
Siri's
Vision
off.
Pro. Now that is really cool.
Yes, except
I just have like having someone to
I
scream at.
still never use an Apple Vision Pro unless I'm sat at a desk. So fairly minimal back and forth movement,
Bless you,
possibly.
nigga.
Although, maybe I'm just not adventurous enough. Okay.
Well, for someone who's in a wheelchair and that's their only mode of transportation, and if they can't use their hands or reliably use their hands or
Okay, so
That's
dexterity,
not a great
more
use
than
for
just-
Apple Vision Pro. Is that,
yeah, this is accessibility.
If you're in a
Yeah.
wheelchair.
Yeah, so they can't control a joystick maybe, or motor functions are limited, or maybe they have, they normally control the wheelchair fine, but they have a cast on their arm. There's many situations where you might only have your head at that point, your eyes, and this lets you control and get around, reclaim some independence. It is a bit awkward with a giant headset on your head, but moving is better than not, so I think this is a good option. And I wonder if you remember this, the Hikawa iPhone grip has returned.
Not one thin clue what that is.
It was very brief. Apple announced it last year as a limited accessory. It was expensive, around $80, I believe. It was this rubber textured grip, giant thing that goes on the back of an iPhone with a hole in it. People were complaining about the price, saying that they could just 3D print something. Why is it so expensive? And just completely misunderstanding how this device works, who designed it. Actually, this is when you were gone last year, William. Mike Worthley was on and was able to share a little bit about how expensive things built for the accessible market are, not because they're trying to gouge prices, but because
they're low production.
They're really trying to account for many different uses and styles and comforts that are needed for such a thing. And accessibility is not cheap. And this is not just an accessibility device, it's a beautiful accessibility device. It stands out, it looks good. So this designer worked to make more colors, more variations. It's now cheaper at I believe like $57, and it's available. And
That's expensive.
And it's launched globally now instead of it being more limited.
Like,
so that's a pretty interesting little rollout there for accessibility.
The thing you go on the back of your phone.
No, you said it. I remember an artist created
It's
it.
kind of like a pop
It's this thing that looks like a bit of a cogwheel or something on the back of my phone. Lots of places to grip.
Mm-hmm. It's like bridges for fingers to rest on, a hole to put another finger through, depending on the digits. There's actually a very nice video about the design of this device, and I recommend everyone go watch it, simply because it's just showcasing the people who might use it. And it's very easy for anyone, I mean, most of our listeners, for anybody who has all the digits on their fingers and the use of both of their arms, it's easy to not be able to visualize or understand exactly what such a device is used for, or how someone might need the device. And the video very easily, very well showcases like the type of people using this stuff. And Apple's always making these kinds of little beautiful videos, and I enjoyed it. So go check that out. Apple Accessibility is always on point. They're one of the few companies who really push in this direction.
That's why I never like watch that shit.
I should say, when we've talked about accessibility before,
go watch it.
we have had complaints, and not about us, but
Sorry, I
about
hate it.
Apple. Certain
Annoying.
issues to do with it, but it just seems overall.
It always puts me to
There
sleep.
will always be.
First we got a guy with a sedated voice, and then we got a fucking British guy. This shit's
But
putting me to sleep.
Apple might be
One
the
goes
best.
yeah, and the other one goes
You know,
oh.
listen to the podcast.
No,
But that
they all
doesn't mean
suck.
that they can't
They're all
always do
just
more.
fucking suck. They could all eat my
True.
nuts.
And they do keep trying, which is good. One thought about the cost of things. Anytime you're making something for a subset of users, it's got to be more expensive than making it for every possible billion users around. So that makes sense. As does the fact that, I can't remember, it wasn't there, but somewhere in there, you mentioned AI, and one day there'll be no, there won't be an episode when we don't mention that. But this time it does seem particularly apposite because we have more AI rumors. This is the build-up to WWDC iOS 20.
I like this.
Good morning. Trump faces growing rebellion from within his own ranks on the Hill over a controversial compensation fund.
It sends a signal, hey, go breach the Capitol, destroy the building, assault police officers, you may even get compensated someday.
The Associated Press explains how it derailed an important Senate vote. Also, a new report suggests family separations are more common than previously thought. And if you're packing the car for Memorial Day weekend, USA Today has some advice for keeping your gas bill down. It's Friday, May 22nd. I'm Gideon Resnick in for Shemitah Basu. This is Apple News Today. Republicans vented rare frustration at the White House this week over the new $1.8 billion taxpayer fund for people who feel wrongly prosecuted by the Justice Department.
I will tell you, my first reaction was this doesn't pass the smell test.
I am completely objecting to this, and I'm going to do everything I can to fight it.
I think it's stupid on stilts.
Several senators have balked at the fund, which could lead to big payouts for people who stormed the Capitol on January 6th and put the lives of those same lawmakers at risk. Yesterday, Republicans sent a strong signal of opposition to that by leaving town without passing a bill that would have provided tens of billions of dollars for immigration enforcement. Tensions over the payout fund were so high that Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche was dispatched to the Hill on Thursday to try and assuage some concerns.
There's different types of sectors, so it's not always directly ICE. Sometimes, like, if you need more border support,
Border patrol, yada yada.
that's not exactly ICE. ICE is more that goes in.
I know, but fuck them all.
Well, you know, a lot of people do.
They brutal force is what they
Mary
use. They're not doing their
Claire
job
Delanic is a
correctly.
congressional reporter with the Associated Press.
Just because a certain group of people do bad
But
things.
it's a
They
lot of
all
them.
do bad things. I know.
No
You
one's
might
saying
say
they're all, but
ICE, Border Patrol,
it's
their entire-
concerning. But it's concerning how much of them are doing it, and their comrades are not going like, "Hey, yo, this is wrong." No one's stopping them.
But Border Patrol is different. Border Patrol is they stay at the border and
I know Border Patrol is different. Don't worry.
Associated Press, who recently authored an oral history on January 6th.
he wasn't able to answer the questions that they had, and it was pretty much immediately after that meeting that they said, okay, we're not even going to vote at all this week.
This bill actually had nothing to do with this new fund. But after the fund was announced, some Republicans were worried enough about it that they wanted to add parameters around who could receive the payouts as part of this bigger legislation.
The base package, which is ICE and Border Patrol funding, has unanimous support among Republicans, and they only need Republican support for the bill in the way that they are trying to pass it. So that was not the problem, but it was all these sort of unrelated issues that kept interfering with the bill.
The other issue was Trump's ballroom and security upgrades for the White House.
Democrats were really hammering them, saying, people can't afford their groceries right now. Why are you all providing money for Trump's ballroom? So that issue sort of also threatened to derail the bill, and they eventually decided not to add it at all.
In the background of all of this is Trump's recent moves to turn on incumbent senators in primaries, upsetting many of their colleagues.
They not only were frustrated that Trump went against one of their own, but also they think it could endanger their chances of keeping their majority. So when that happened, it really did sort of set off these